afternoon, family. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We are live right now, May 29, 2026. A massive explosion at Blue Origin. Bad news for Amazon for John Bezos. Jeff Bezos has a big problem now. And Elon Musk, who's celebrating it, my goodness, what a scene unfolded in Florida yesterday. The closest thing to seeing a nuclear explosion in the 21st century. The images we're about to see are incredible. And the information we're going to share is amazing. And what happened last night is more serious than we thought. Family, your likes and your comments. This is Estrategias Militares. Let's get started. Oh! Good evening, family. Good afternoon or good morning. Welcome. We're going to change let's get started to let's take off. Well, we haven't taken off very far. At least not Blue Origin. They haven't taken off very far this time. Oh my, the explosion. This has been incredible. But be careful, because there's a mystery. I'm here to tell you about the mystery. Hours before, things were happening. Hours before, things were happening in United States of America. They may or may not be related, or maybe they are. We don't know. But the footage is incredible. There it is. That's Jeff Bezos' rocket, the owner of Amazon, also of a fake news newspaper, as Donald J. Trump calls it, who wanted to compete with SpaceX. Specifically, this rocket was going to put hundreds of satellites into orbit to create an alternative to Starlink. You know that thing about internet everywhere, without interruptions and without any kind of censorship from governments? That ended yesterday in dust and fire. What are you seeing? From Cape Canaveral, Florida, the United States of America, a place historically known for launching modules, rockets, everything related to the United States of America's aerospace program, private companies, and the public agency, NASA. Don't get carried away with this. This isn't the first time it's happened. It's happened before. It happened to Elon himself. Elon Musk also went through it. He experienced the accident firsthand, so to speak. And as he says, even if the rocket fails, you have to keep moving forward. But what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday? Yesterday, this exploded. What we're seeing is impressive. Look at the explosion. It was seen for hundreds of miles. It looked like daytime. The people who were at home when they saw this thought it was a nuclear bomb and that Iran was attacking them. At 9 o'clock at night, prime time in the United States, people were expecting to see a test. It was a test. It wasn't the launch. It was a test. A test. The test ended in disaster. But of course, as I was saying, people expected to see another event. Today, in fact, other things happened. Well, you are already seeing this from a greater distance, how it becomes daylight in the middle of the night in practically all of Florida. And this has been seen from space. Thank you. According to the reports, we have witnessed or are witnessing one of the largest explosions in history. What you are hearing, this looks like the Oppenheimer movie. I don't know if you've seen it. A bomba drop. Something like that, brutal. Incredible, right? It works well. It serves well as an example. So people know what a nuclear, because even though it hasn't been radioactive, it hasn't been a nuclear weapon, the explosion is very, very similar. Very, very similar. You can see it there. Imagine the vacuum created by the shock wave. Well, and the sound is tremendous. Now we're going to play the audio so you can hear it. But I was saying that today, by contrast, and whether it's a coincidence or not, Elon has launched one. Elon has launched a SpaceX launch to put more satellites into orbit. We're seeing it right there. No problem at all. It's totally laughing in Jeff Bezos' face with all the names. This company, Blue Origin, is or was going to be SpaceX's direct competitor. Programs like Artemis, this idea of putting a human base on the moon depended on this. The issue isn't the rocket explosion. The problem is that the launch area has been completely destroyed. And now we're going to see it. Let's listen to the audio. The problem is that it's been destroyed. Let's look for one that has audio. Well, this was in the year 2016 SpaceX. Elon's rockets used to fail too. Thank you for watching. Elon's rockets used to fail too. Not just one, but all of them. This happens to everyone. It's completely normal and logical. But of course,
bro,
you're taking a walk in Florida at dusk and you see this.
thank you.
Bro. What is that, bro? Of course.
That's not good. No.
No, it's not good. No.
No, you know what that was?
Ah, I'm recording it. So that means I don't know. Bro.
Something catches my attention. There was probably a thunderstorm. Look at the left side. It's monstrous. Even though you're seeing these harsh images, there are no injured or missing people. All these events are held under the strictest or with the best safety protocols. There was obviously no one nearby. Everyone was inside a bunker. Yes, we can see that the explosion is very powerful. The blast is brutal. The damage is now, we're going to see it. It's very severe. But there are no deaths. Mientras que vosotros not dead. They are watching the explosion, and they are not the explosion, the shockwave. A Jafer. I mentioned ridiculous.
That's gotta be rough. That's gotta be it then.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, well, are we going up?
It's like there are some flashes over there. And there, you hear a boom, right? It's that sonic boom, right? All right. I've already said that something happened hours before. But I'm going to make you wait a little. I want to welcome you, family, Estrategias Militares. We are live right now here on your channel for interesting things happening around the world. Today, it's not about war. Maybe later we'll talk about war. We'll see. The Iranians are thinking about whether to sign or not to sign the agreement about having a nuclear weapon or not. They're thinking about it. If they want the nuclear weapon. Today, it's all about mystery. Just last night, the White House was publishing what you're about to see now. And this is very interesting. Super interesting. Because the White House was talking about aliens. But of course, no, we don't know if they're aliens as in illegal immigrants. No. I think they meant this based on what we've seen or what they were talking about. They posted this video last night. This is the official White House page. Now that we're discussing UFOs and extraterrestrials, it's hard to tell what's what anymore. Listen. I think it's clear. You can see Mexico's border wall. They're catching a person who's from a flying saucer. And they're taking him to the other side. Trolling. This is called trolling. Totally. Then also, that same night, last night, they posted this. You're going to see it around here. There it is. Typical of crop circles. President Donald J. Trump. Loading. Loading. What are they loading? What were they loading? All right. How does this connect to the rocket and last night's events? We're going somewhere else now. The afternoon of the rocket. Someone from the United States may have heard it. Columbia area. Darlington. This whole area here. Thank you. In the Carolina area, an explosion can be heard. Look at this. 5:23 in the afternoon. The seismology systems, they detect. That was it. No one knows how to explain. And it was that explosion. Officially, there was no earthquake. But something happened there. Something happened. Well, if there wasn't an earthquake, what the hell was that explosion? There is no official statement about what the explosion was hours before the Blue Origin launch. But it was seen or heard in many places across the United States of America. I repeat, many places across the United States of America. We have another video. It's also the hangar of an airport where you can see this. Amazing. Of course, what's the reason for it? Or what's the explanation? There isn't any. There's no explanation at all. It happens at the same time that documents start being declassified, talking about flying objects and other stories. Very well. Before and after this place. First of all, we have to go to Cape Canaveral to see where it happened, where this whole scene took place. The whole drama. Let's try to look for it around here. Here. Here we are. Family, we're live and need more likes. Check this out.
NASA satellite. The explosion happens in this place. I think it's the LC-34. If I remember correctly. That's right. Complex 34 launch. Complex 34. Oh no, that's not it. 36. Complex 36. 34 is decommissioned. 36. This one we see here. Don't go by the image because it has been heavily modified in the last 2 years. It took a very long time to build that launch platform. 2 years of work. The rocket is the least of it. The facility has been deactivated. The serious part is that it's destroyed. This launch platform is key to the Artemis project. To set up a permanent base on the moon. What doesn't exist? Images, what the area looks like now. One of the towers, one of the lightning rods has been destroyed, vaporized. Structural damage.
Look at how the area has ended up. It's striking that the white building is still standing. Even so, you can see that the walls are deformed and the doors are very warped. And of course, the thing here is the story of Jeff Bezos with what we're seeing here. The space race of private companies, the eagerness to be the first to arrive. What is all this going to mean? Well, the detonation of Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket on Thursday night during the static fire test was not the launch. It wasn't being launched. It wasn't the first time a New Glenn rocket was launched. Another one had already been launched. It's 98 meters tall. Let's take a look at images of what happened last night, because I think it's really impressive. And you're going to understand something that I believe might be behind this whole story. It's impressive. I'll read your comments and share info here. Thanks. What does this mean? The effort to rebuild what was lost will go far beyond Blue Origin. This launch failure will be devastating, not only for Blue Origin, but also for NASA and large sectors of the United States aerospace industry. Some cases. Lanzamiento. When a Falcon rocket failed in 2018, the SpaceX Falcon Heavy, Elon Musk was glad that the explosion happened off the launch pad. Because here the important thing is the launch pad. If the launch pad is destroyed, and it can take more than 2 years to build one, then we have a problem. According to official sources related to the industry, the damage to the launch pad has been severe. Years and at least hundreds of millions of dollars were invested in those facilities. The magnitude of the enormous lightning protection towers is hard to grasp unless you've climbed one of them. Blue Origin doesn't have another launch pad. There's no other way to launch the New Glenn rocket from this side. Preliminary work had begun on another nearby pad at 36B, and they plan to develop another one at the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. But those projects are not underway right now. What does this mean? Well, the Luna Azul Mark 1 module, remember, this name is a cargo module from Blue Origin that has become the key piece for NASA's Artemis program and the Luna base. Do you remember that thing about building a lunar base for humans on the moon? It was supposed to transport up to 3 tons to the lunar surface. Is this a prototype for a larger lander that will take humans to the moon? The mission can't be carried out now. Unless they turn to Elon again, so they can use the SpaceX program and launch it from there. But the program that allows SpaceX to launch this kind of payload is also deactivated, so it doesn't work. Let's continue. The Artemis program. Due to the problems with Mark 1, which we just mentioned, there will be significant delays. It will be necessary to restructure the initial phases of the lunar base program. The lunar vehicles being developed by Astrolab and Lunar Outpost, for example, have a mass of approximately 1 ton. Only the Mark 1 Annexes Starship have cargo capacity. Costa America. With this now, Elon will have all the power over the future space program of the United States of America. Perfect. Nothing more, nothing less. What if someone didn't want this to proceed? And what if there was some kind of interest in making sure the mission didn't go forward? Thank you. In a static test, this explosion happens when all the systems should have been checked. Striking. I'm curious what you all think, but the truth is that it's actually quite striking. Now, the next day, Elon launches a rocket. I know what you guys are thinking right now. Does this benefit Elon? Yes. It benefits Starlink a lot. Also, because it won't have any competition. Amazon Leo was going to be the competition. What you're hearing. The only competitor in this story, in the billionaire Elon versus Jeff Bezos and Amazon story, is now out of the equation. Now, Donald Trump has to call Elon. And Elon is going to set a price. Or maybe Elon is going to refuse to launch Amazon satellites. Do you realize what's happening? I don't know. We're facing a situation in which we are at the mercy of a private company like SpaceX that decides to do whatever they want to do. There's the explosion. It's exciting. I want to see your messages, comments. I'd like to see your comments here in the chat. Thank you, Lizzie, for that super chat you left for us here. But it's a setback. There's an agenda to follow. There are some numbers, some signed contracts worth billions of dollars that now will have to be canceled. They won't be able to be carried out. And that's going to be a serious problem for the industry. A pretty serious problem. And has Elon made a statement? No, no. Elon hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't even made a statement. He has preferred to stay out of it. Understandable. That perspective makes it understandable. He wants nothing to do with it and doesn't want any suspicion of sabotage affecting his company. But of course, this is going to start coming up. Someone left something there, a screwdriver was left and a screw wasn't tightened properly. Something like that. There we can see how the area looks now. Devastated. The main launch tower is damaged. It will have to be completely dismantled. Repair it and reassemble it. The lightning rods will have to be reassembled. We're talking about years of work. The next scheduled launch in this area is in September 2027. That's too far off for the timeline set by NASA to reach space. To the moon, in this case. And now we could include the theory of what if there's some entity that doesn't want us to get there? What if there's someone who doesn't want us to? That human beings managed to set up a base on the moon. Never before could so many theories come out of the same event, about the same event. Without a doubt. Another photograph, much more detailed, much more focused. There it is. You can see the damage. Major structural damage. I don't know what to think. Accidents have always happened. Accidents have always happened. The thing is, we're talking about the fact that it was being tested. The ignition of this engine on a platform designed to be essential for the United States of America space program. It could have been tested somewhere else. I don't know. What does Jeff Bezos say? Well, here he says things. And the worst part is that it's more worrying than we ever thought. Jeff Bezos. A photo from his tweets to give information about what's happening with his investment, with his money, and with humanity's project. All personnel are accounted for and safe. It's too early to know the root cause, but we're already working to find it. It's been a very tough day, but we'll rebuild whatever is needed and we'll fly again. It's worth it, Jeff Bezos. They don't know how it happened. They still don't know why it failed. None of the monitoring systems know.
Take a look at this video we're about to watch. And also, there are some curious things. Meanwhile, Amazon shares, they continue to rise. SpaceX's shares are not. Curious, isn't it? Years spent building satellites for Amazon's internet network. And it all goes down the drain. At least for Jeff Bezos, there's something that has cost him more than his divorce. Something more expensive than the divorce.
No, it's just that these things.
There are several theories. I'm not going to get too deep into this either. I want to let you all think about it. My bet is mechanical or technical failure. A failure, an accident, this can happen. 2, sabotage, international espionage, or by several companies. I think it could be key. This aircraft that appears around here, right at that moment, you're seeing it over there. That helicopter that's flying around over there, it could be from NASA. I think it could reveal what happened there. We've put forward the theory of sabotage. We also put forward the theory of there's someone out there doesn't want us to reach the moon and set up a base. It could be. Here, everyone should bet on whatever they think is best, on whatever they think makes the most sense. I would bet 2 options. 1, NASA is already being asked for photos of that helicopter. They are being asked. Last night there was a helicopter. Let's put the image here. Exactly that. There are close-up images. I would bet on a simple failure or sabotage. That's all. Or the whole UFO thing or some light that did something strange. It could have done it while flying or something like that, judging by the declassified images we've seen from the Pentagon. That makes more sense. I'd bet on a malfunction or sabotage. Technical malfunction. Yes, it happens. It can happen. It does happen. In fact, it has happened and it will keep happening. But it's a setback. It's a very serious setback. Because there are many projects underway at this moment that put on hold. I would spend more time investigating this other event. The one we saw at the beginning. That's what exploded. The one that was heard everywhere. A county or a state. What was that exploded over there? No official statement. No hice un no. No hay. Se escuchó un ruido. It has been ruled out that there was some kind of earthquake. Those are images from Columbia Airport. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There's been no official statement. It was even on the news. It was felt 100 miles away. Some say it might have been a meteorite. Nobody knows. South Carolina. An explosion. I'm not sure if anyone from South Carolina is in our community who could confirm for us. or give us a bit more information about what it was that exploded. Let's watch more videos, because this one actually seems more interesting to me, even more than the rocket one, because there isn't an official statement. When there's a meteorite, they say, and something has fallen. This is what happened. Let's listen. The sardines are not happy. Tremendous. Of course, a sharp boom. It was possibly in the air. No one has said that a meteorite entered, that there was some kind of meteorite entry, right? A shockwave. They talk about a mystery in South Carolina. A shockwave at 5:24 in the afternoon. The gardens have gone crazy. Like crazy. A nuclear power plant was suspected. There were moments of panic. The news already started saying nonsense. It was picked up at a weather station. There is already data on this subject, of course. Then at night, the other thing happens. All right. Who knows? Something is happening in Florida and South Carolina. What could it be? Door cameras. This is new technology. When someone rings your intercom, the cameras catch it. There's a lot of mystery in all of this. There's a lot of mystery in this whole story. Family, shed of light. Strategies, indeed, there's a plan to burn the country. If the left is Russia, Spain, Cuba, per the administration and intelligence, we need you. They've infiltrated everything. I don't understand your message. Strategies pending. Colombia? A plan exists to set the country on fire. According to intelligence investigations, if the left loses, it's Russia, Spain, and Cuba. The situation in Colombia is complicated. The situation in Bolivia is very complicated. Well, the situation in Bolivia, yes. It's not the topic of the show, but I'm someone who likes to talk about everything, and I take every opportunity to talk about it all. And I have a gift for you. I have a gift for you from Evo Morales. I don't know if we could send him to the moon to set up a base there. But Evo Morales, no, he didn't have a good moment. He's a bit nervous.
That's what keeps the country backward. It's capitalism. It's the empire.
It's the army.
From that perspective, you might expect a notice. However, its registration failed.
Is it moving?
Let me set the scene. Evo Morales was giving an online talk. Real cool of him hiding away. And the police started to arrive.
A bit out of touch, sir.
A tape that goes like this.
That's the 5. Police?
Tape goes Santa Luz. Are you ready to locate?
There are police officers back here. They're surrounding the Oceania. Police officers.
Police officer.
Yes, police officers. Evo police officers.
Our brothers are surrounded.
Are the police closing in?
Yes, all of Oceania. The Oceania police are closing in.
The police are closing in?
Yes, or they're surrounding you. Evo.
Let's see, who's being called? Call the comrade from the tropics. Chabamba police. They're surrounding us right now from Oceania. We call on the comrades to mobilize.
Quickly calling his henchmen to free him. This is like a drug lord. This reminds me of the Chapito effect, or El Chapo, or El Mencho, or one of those guys. It's the same thing. It's the same way of acting. When the police come to arrest you because there's a court order for you to appear at trial for being a pedophile. To his henchmen.
To protect us.
A call has gone out to all 6 federations, comrades. The 6 federations, the closest ones, the central ones, are already here in the tropics at the OCAE, where the radio station is headquartered. We were told people from other federations are coming, but we must stress this danger. We say this sincerely, brothers. The life of our brother, President Evo Morales, is in danger.
This is what's at stake in 2024.
This was in 2024. This has been going on for a while. Evo gets scared when they go after him. He gets scared. What else can you expect? Greetings to Albert. Thank you very much, Ade. Underground explosions from the Dracos. I am consciousness. No idea. Mysteries. I can't go that far. Get me off the few things I know, and I'm lost. But anyway. Mysteries of nature. Morales. Sanchez persecuted. There's plenty happening in the world to inspire many shows. A lot of shows. By the way, speaking of strange things. No, we're going to leave this for another show. No, I have a very interesting video about what's happening in Spain with the drug trade. But we're going to leave it for another show. Maybe tonight. Tonight we can have a debate panel. What's happening around the world? What's going on? What are the most interesting hotspots right now from the perspective of global security? Because, of course, we have the issue of Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, Europe, and Spain. Hispanic, Latino, no, South America, or whatever you want to call it. I include everything. Our brothers over there are also having a really hard time. The Venezuela issue, and of course, the Cuba issue. We have a new video from the Cubans. The daughters seem to be Zapateros. They had a bot farm to go after Venezuelan dissidents. And to pass the phone number information to SEBIN. This is also being talked about today in Spain. It's a series of issues and things that, obviously, this is going to turn into quite a few shows. But that will be later. Family, watch it again. Open Gamer. Bro, it's amazing. It's amazing to see it. My God. A lot of fuel. And then they say the Strait of Hormuz is closed. A lot of fuel burned there. Family, thanks for joining us live. I found what happened with Blue Origin really interesting. See you later. Here on Estrategias Militares. Shabbat Shalom.